Hey everybody, PewDiePie here. Just kidding, it's your boy Nah, but I got my man, Pewds, ghostwriting this script. We're about to dive headfirst into the land of windmills, tulips, and stroopwafels. If you don't know what a stroopwafel is, get ready to have your mind blown. Seriously, those things are dangerously delicious. You've been warned. Buckle up, bros, because this is going to be a wild ride. We're talking canals straight out of a fairy tale, cities bursting with life and enough history to make your head spin. I'll be your guide through this magical land of clogs and cheese. Let's go. First up, we're hitting up the capital of the Netherlands, the one and only Amsterdam. This city is like a mix of classic beauty and straight-up craziness. Picture this: canals, cobblestone streets, and houses that look like they're about to tip over. Amsterdam is also home to some seriously mind-blowing museums. And let's not forget about the nightlife. Amsterdam knows how to party, and I'm not just talking about coffee shops. So, if you're looking for a city that's got it all, Amsterdam is the place for you. Next up, we're heading to Rotterdam, the city that rose from the ashes like a phoenix. And boy did they rebuild. This city is now a showcase of cutting-edge architecture. And of course, the iconic cube houses. These yellow tilted houses are like something out of a Dr. Seuss book, so if you're looking for a city that's modern and cool, Rotterdam should be at the top of your list. Alright bros, we're heading to The Hague. No, not like The Hay, it's pronounced Hage. It's basically the serious older brother of Amsterdam. First up, the International Court of Justice. Super serious stuff, but don't worry, The Hague isn't all about laws and order, it's also got beaches, chilling with a stroopwafel. So yeah, The Hague, a weird mix of serious business and chill beach vibes. Next stop, Utrecht. This place is all about history, charm, and one seriously tall tower. I'm talking about the Dom Tower, of course. This bad boy dominates the skyline and you can even climb it. 465 steps to the top. But trust me, the view from up there is worth the struggle. Utrecht's old town is super charming with canals, bridges, and those cute little houses. Utrecht has this super chill vibe. Alright party people, get ready to experience Maastricht. This city is old school cool, like really old school. Maastricht knows how to throw down, especially during carnival. We're talking parades, costumes, music, and enough beer to fill a canal. It's basically 3 days of non-stop partying and everyone's invited. When you're not busy partying, make sure to check out the historic city center. It's full of cobblestone streets, cute little shops, and enough cafes to satisfy your stroopwafel cravings. Maastricht is the place to let loose. Alright bros, buckle up because we're heading to Giethoorn, also known as the Venice of the North. And no, before you ask, I don't know why they call every place with canals Venice of something, like come up with your own names people. Anyway, Giethoorn is basically a giant network of canals instead of streets. So ditch the car, bros, and get ready for a boat tour. You'll be cruising past these adorable thatched roof houses, surrounded by flowers and probably some confused ducks wondering why there are so many tourists. Oh, and be prepared to get that perfect Instagram shot, because Giethoorn is crazy photogenic. Just like, try not to fall in the canal while you're busy being an influencer, okay? Safety first. Seriously, those canals are deceptively deep. So yeah, Giethoorn, it's like a fairy tale village come to life, just, with more canals and probably fewer magical creatures. Unless you count the tourists. Those guys can be pretty magical in their own way. Next up, bros, we're talking tulips. Millions of them. Get ready for Keukenhof Gardens, the most colorful place on earth. It's like walking into a rainbow that explodes with even more rainbows. Over 7 million tulips bloom every spring. Not just your average red tulips either. Crazy colors, weird shapes, and names you can't pronounce. Keukenhof is only open for 8 weeks a year. Plan your trip right to experience peak tulip insanity. Trust me, it's worth it. Alright bros, time to travel back in time to the Dutch Golden Age at the Zaanse Schans. Think windmills, wooden houses, and enough cheese to clog your arteries. Just kidding. Sort of. This place is like a living museum with traditional windmills still grinding grain, workshops making those iconic wooden shoes, the ones you can wear as boats, and even a cheese factory where you can stuff your face with delicious Gouda. And the best part? You can actually go inside some of the windmills, just like, watch your head, because those things are huge. And be prepared for some serious wind power. It's like a natural hairdryer in there. So, yeah, if you want to experience the Netherlands like it was back in the day, Zaanse Schans is the place to be. Just, maybe pack some earplugs for the windmills. and some Tums for the cheese, and maybe a bib. Ah, Kinderdijk. The name might sound like a rejected IKEA product, but trust me, this place is way more exciting than putting together furniture. We're talking about windmills, bros. And not just any windmills, we're talking 19 UNESCO World Heritage windmills dating back to the 18th century. That's older than America. Imagine the stories these bad boys could tell. They've seen some stuff, probably even seen a clog or two float by. Now I know what you're thinking. Pewds, windmills, that's kinda lame. But hold your horses, okay? These aren't just any old windmills, they're iconic. They're like the Eiffel Tower of the Netherlands, but instead of being tall and pointy, they're, well, windmilly. Plus, think of the Instagram potential. You could get a killer selfie with a windmill, pretend you're a Dutch miller, maybe even Photoshop yourself into a historical scene. The possibilities are endless. Just try not to fall into a canal, those things are pretty gross. We're heading to Delft, and no, it's not named after a dolphin. Delft is famous for its blue and white pottery. It's called Delft Blue, or Delft's Blauw. But Delft isn't just about plates and teacups. It's got a charming historic town center with canals and bridges. Delft is the birthplace of Johannes Vermeer, so yeah, Delft is definitely worth a visit. Haarlem, bras. It's like Amsterdam's cooler, less crowded little brother. Full of charm with cobbled streets, cozy cafes, and historic buildings. Serious old town vibes here. And the best part, you can actually afford coffee here. Also, check out Tyler's Museum, one of the oldest in the Netherlands. It's got art, fossils, and scientific instruments. For a chill city break with culture and a bit of weirdness, Haarlem is the place. Alright bros, moving on to number 12, we've got Eindhoven. Now I know what you're thinking, Eindhoven, what's even there? Well, hold on to your stroopwafels because this place is like the Silicon Valley of the Netherlands. Forget windmills and tulips for a second, Eindhoven is all about innovation, technology, and design. It's home to the Philips headquarters, so you know they've got some serious tech game. Plus, they've got this super cool event called Dutch Design Week, where designers from all over the world show off their crazy creations. And hey, if you're a football fan, you've probably heard of PSV Eindhoven. They've won the Dutch League like a million times, not really, but you get the point. So yeah, Eindhoven is definitely worth checking out if you're into futuristic vibes and cutting-edge stuff. Who knows, you might even bump into a robot on the street. Just kidding. Unless... Next up at number 13, we've got Groningen. Now, Groningen is known for two things. Its massive student population and this iconic leaning tower called the Martinatoren. Seriously, this thing makes the Leaning Tower of Pisa look like an amateur. Imagine walking down the street minding your own business when, bam, you see this massive tower that looks like it's about to tip over and crush you. Okay, maybe I'm exaggerating a bit, but you get the idea. But don't worry, the Martinatoren has been standing there for centuries, so it's not going anywhere anytime soon. Besides the tower, Groningen is also a super lively city with a young and energetic vibe thanks to all the students. Think cool cafes, quirky shops, and a nightlife that's off the charts. So yeah, Groningen is definitely worth a visit, especially if you're looking for a good time. Coming in at number 14, we have Leiden, home to the oldest university in the Netherlands. Yeah, you heard that right, oldest university. So if you're looking to feel stupid and inadequate about your own education, Leiden is the place to be. But in all seriousness, Leiden is a beautiful city with a rich history and a charming atmosphere. It's like walking through a postcard but with more bikes. And speaking of things that are old, Leiden is also home to the Hortus Botanicus, one of the oldest botanical gardens in the world. They've got plants there that are older than your grandma, maybe even older than your great-grandma, depending on how old your grandma is. Don't tell me to respect my elders, I respect plants. So yeah, if you're into history academia or just want to see some really old plants, make sure to add Leiden to your list. Just try not to get run over by a bike, those Dutchies take their cycling seriously. Alright bros, we're heading north to Texel, the biggest of the Dutch Wadden Islands. Think beaches, dunes, and more sheep than you can shake a stroopwafel at. Texel's got over 30 kilometers of beaches, perfect for beach stuff, or just chilling with a Bruges herring. Just watch out for seagulls, they'll steal your lunch. There are also nature reserves with hundreds of bird species. So, whether you're a beach bum, a bird nerd, or just looking to escape, Texel's got you covered. Buckle up bros, we're heading to Volendam, a picturesque fishing village that's basically a postcard come to life. Think charming houses, canals, and locals who still rock those traditional Dutch outfits. You know, the ones with the puffy pants and the wooden shoes? Yeah, those. It's also a great place to sample some authentic Dutch food. I'm talking fresh seafood, and of course mountains of cheese. So grab your camera and get ready to experience the charm of Volendam. Attention all cheese lovers, this one's for you. We're heading to Alkmaar, a city with a whole market dedicated to cheese. It's like Disneyland for lactose enthusiasts. Every Friday morning, Wagplein Square transforms into a cheese lover's paradise. Mountains of Gouda, stacks of Edam, and enough cheese to make anyone say uncle. It's a sight to behold and smell and taste. So, if you're a true cheese connoisseur, Alkmaar should be at the top of your Dutch bucket list. Arnhem, guys! Home to the epic battle they made a movie about. A bridge too far, they said. But let's be real, the only thing too far here is how much awesome stuff they crammed into one place. First off, the open-air museum. It's like stepping back in time, but with less plague and more stroopwafels. Speaking of waffles, after you've had your fill of history, head over to Burger Zoo, one of the biggest zoos in Europe. They've got lions, tigers, bears, oh my. And probably some other animals too, but those are the classics, am I right? Make sure to check out the Desert Dome. It's like they took a chunk of the Sahara and plunked it right down in the Netherlands. Just don't touch the cacti. Those things are prickly AF. Nijmegen bros and broettes, prepare to have your minds blown. This place is old, like really old, as in the oldest city in the Netherlands old. They were chilling here with their Roman buddies back in the day, long before Netflix and chill was even a thing. Speaking of chilling, Nijmegen knows how to party. Every year they have this crazy festival called the 4 Days Marches, where people walk like a lot. I know, walking? Sounds insane, right? But it's actually a huge celebration with music, food, and more orange than you can shake a stick at. Plus, after walking that much, you can eat whatever you want, guilt-free. So, put on your comfy shoes and get ready to experience some serious Dutch history and maybe a few blisters. Ooh. Next up, we're headed to Breda, a city that knows how to blend its history with a whole lot of fun. We're talking a charming historic city center, complete with cobblestone streets that'll make you wish you'd pack those comfy shoes again. But hold on to your hats, folks, because Breda also knows how to throw a party. And by party, I mean carnival. Yeah, it seems like every city in the Netherlands has its own version and Breda's is no exception. We're talking parades, costumes, music, and enough good vibes to power a small country. Just make sure to pace yourself with the Dutch beer. Those guys don't mess around when it comes to brewing. Alright bros, buckle up, we're headed to Amersfoort, a city that's like stepping into a time machine. And no, not the cool kind with lasers and robots, more like the kind with cobblestone streets and buildings older than your grandma's secret cookie recipe. First up, the medieval architecture. We're talking walls thicker than my patience for bad jokes, towers that touch the sky, almost, and enough history to make your brain hurt. But hey, at least it looks good on Instagram, right? And speaking of art, Amersfoort is also home to the Mondrian House, dedicated to the dude who painted those red, yellow, and blue squares. You know the ones, they're like super famous. Apparently he was born here, who knew? Maybe he got inspiration from all the straight lines in the architecture, so yeah, Amersfoort. Not gonna lie, it's pretty cool. Just don't tell anyone I said that, okay? Next stop, Den Bosch, ever heard of it, no? Well, get ready to have your minds blown because this place has got it all, a freaking massive cathedral. Food that will make you want to slap your mama in a good way, and enough canals to rival even Amsterdam. Let's start with the St. John's Cathedral. This thing is an absolute unit, like seriously, it makes all the other churches look like garden sheds. Gothic architecture, intricate details, gargoyles that look like they're about to drop the sickest mixtape of 1382. It's wild, dude. But hold on, we're not done yet. Den Bosch is also known for its amazing food. And no, I'm not talking about your average stroopwafels here, although those are delicious too. We're talking Michelin star restaurants, cozy cafes, and enough local delicacies to make your taste buds sing. So yeah, Den Bosch. History, architecture, food. What more could you ask for? Maybe some decent Wi-Fi, but hey, you can't win them all. Zwolle. Say it with me. Zwolle. It's fun to say, isn't it? But hey, this city is more than just a funny name, alright? We've got history, museums, and enough charm to make even the most cynical traveler crack a smile. First up, the historic city center. Think cobblestone streets, cute little shops, and buildings that look like they've got some stories to tell. Trust me, you could spend hours just wandering around here, getting lost in the atmosphere. Just try not to trip on the cobblestones, yeah? And then there's the Museum de Fondatier, an art museum housed in this crazy building that looks like a giant spaceship landed on top of a neoclassical villa. It's weird, it's wonderful, and it's got some pretty cool art inside too. So yeah, Zwolle, don't let the name fool you. This place is definitely worth a visit. Just, maybe practice saying it a few times before you go, yeah? Welcome to Leeuwarden, bros. Or should I say, Leeuwarden. Leeuwarden is the capital of Friesland, a super cool province in the north of the Netherlands. Check out the Oldehove, a leaning tower even more crooked than my sleep schedule. And don't miss the Elfstedentocht, an insane ice skating marathon on frozen canals. So yeah, Leeuwarden, it's pretty cool. Next up, we're heading to Apeldoorn. Check out Hetlu Palace, a massive royal palace, and don't miss Appenheul, where monkeys roam free. They're everywhere, swinging and stealing snacks. Or visit Hoge Veluwe National Park, a huge nature reserve. Rent a bike or just relax. Apeldoorn has it all. Alright folks, get ready for Middelburg, the capital of the Zeeland province. It's like stepping back in time, but with better Wi-Fi. Check out the Lang Jan, this massive tower that dominates the skyline. Climb to the top for epic views, but it's a leg workout. Visit the Abbey of Middelburg, dating back to the 12th century, and try some zeusbolus, a delicious pastry. So there you have it, Middelburg. Towers, abbeys, and pastries. Alright bros, we're heading to Gouda. No, not just the cheese, though that's definitely a major perk. We're talking about the actual town of Gouda, where the streets are paved with cheese. Okay, not really, but a gamer can dream, right? First things first, you gotta hit up the Gouda cheese market. Imagine a sea of yellow, the air thick with the smell of pure dairy goodness. It's a cheese lover's paradise, and trust me, you're gonna wanna stock up. Just, maybe invest in some breath mints afterward. But Gouda's not just about cheese, even though that's a pretty strong selling point. The town hall is like something straight out of medieval times, all grand and imposing. I'm talking Gothic architecture, intricate details, the whole shebang. Take a stroll around the canals, soak up the charming vibes, and try not to get run over by a cyclist. Because this is the Netherlands, and those guys are basically ninjas on two wheels. Hold on to your wallets, bros, because we're heading to Roermond, the shopping capital of the Netherlands. Okay, maybe that's a slight exaggeration, but seriously, this place is a shopaholic's dream. Get ready for the designer outlet Roermond, a massive outdoor shopping center with more brands than you can shake a stick at. We're talking Gucci, Prada, Nike, you name it, they probably have it. And the best part, discounts, baby. But before you max out your credit card, let's talk about the Maasplassen Lakes. This network of lakes is perfect for a chill day out on the water. Rent a boat, go for a swim, or just relax on the shore and soak up the sun. It's the perfect way to unwind after a long day of, well, shopping. So yeah, Roermond's got something for everyone. Shopping for the materialists, nature for the hippies, and cheese for, well, everyone loves cheese, right? Dordrecht sounds like a name Tolkien threw out when he was brainstorming LOTR. Dordrecht, home of the Dords? Dordlings? Anyway, this place is crazy old, like really old. We're talking one of the oldest cities in the Netherlands. So, history buffs, get your notepads ready, there's gonna be a quiz later. But don't worry, it's not all dusty artifacts and boring stories. They've also got the Biesbosch National Park, which is basically a giant maze of rivers and islands. Perfect for getting lost in, or ditching your tour group if they're moving too slow. Just kidding. Kinda. So yeah, Dordrecht. Come for the history, stay for the nature, leave before the Dords sacrifice you to their water gods. Moving on. Alright, listen up, romantics and Christmas fanatics, this one's for you. Valkenburg, my friends, is where it's at if you want to live out your fairy tale dreams. First up, we've got castle ruins, because what's more romantic than wandering through the crumbling remains of a once mighty fortress? It's like stepping into a history book, but with more pigeons. But wait, there's more. Valkenburg is also famous for its Christmas markets. Yes, you heard that right. Christmas markets. Imagine cozy wooden stalls, twinkling lights, and enough glühwein to drown a reindeer. So, if you're looking for a magical winter wonderland, Valkenburg is the place to be. Just try not to get lost in the castle dungeons, or too drunk on glühwein. It's a slippery slope, my friends. And there you have it, folks. The top 30 best places to visit in the Netherlands. From canals to castles, windmills to cheese markets, this tiny country's got it all. Pack your bags, grab your stroopwafels, and get ready for an unforgettable adventure. And hey, if you run into any friendly Dutch people, tell them PewDiePie sent you. They'll probably have no idea what you're talking about, but hey, it's worth a shot. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more travel tips and guides that are probably less chaotic than this one. Tot ziens.